Shalom. In my other video on Tazria Metzora Torah portion, I focus on the idea of leprosy being related to gossip and slander, which is the main rabbinic view. There is a view by a rabbi named Koli who lived in 1730 and wrote a ladino, which is the Spanish Jewish language, commentary on the Torah that was widely read, called Yalkut Me'om Lo'ez. And in that, he says that there are 7 reasons for the connection or the cause of this skin disease the Torah talks about. He says it's malicious gossip and speech, as the other main view that I mentioned before in the other video, bloodshed, unnatural or vain oaths, sexual crimes, pride and haughtiness, robberies, and avoiding charity. Now, one of the things my congregants know well is that I love to do is take concepts from the Torah and apply it to the news items of the day to see what wisdom we can discern from the God's revelation to apply to modern times. And so in thinking about the causes identified by Rabbi Koli in 1730 in this Yalkut Me'om Lo'ez about this week's Torah portion in Tazria, besides the gossip and slander, which I discuss more extensively in my other video, I want to talk about the others, some of the others, and apply them to the events of the day because I think they're so appropriate. For example, he says it's brought about by bloodshed. Well, we're living in an incredibly violent era. When you open up the paper every day and Muslim radicals and terrorists are killing people, they're lobbing missiles from Gaza to Israel, they're blowing up their own religious people in Iraq and Afghanistan and Pakistan. They're killing Christians in Darfur. I mean, all over. And it's not just, and I'm not saying all Muslims here, but the radical extremist Islam people. And then there are others who are committing murder too. It's a reminder about the importance of peace and not killing people. Of course, you have to respond when people are trying to kill you, but we pray for peace. The Jews pray for peace all the time. And we have to stop the bloodshed in the world. And then talks about unnecessary or vain oaths. Well, I'm recording this the week after the brand new Holocaust Museum and Education Center in Skokie, Illinois opened up in my synagogue community. And I keep thinking about what was said in so many of the speeches, which was the oath that we need to take, which is never again. Never again can we allow a Holocaust. And in the concept of Rabbi Koli here about unnecessary or vain oaths, this is an oath we took that we can't say is in vain. We have to take it seriously. So when the president of Iran says he wants to destroy Israel or deny the Holocaust, although I guess in some recent speech he omitted that part, but he's a guy who wants to wipe Israel off the face of the earth, we have to take it very seriously to say vain oaths. And we have to hold our president accountable when Obama said during the election that a nuclear Iran is a game changer and not acceptable. But now it looks like he's going back on that, possibly. So we have to hold his feet to the fire and say, this is an oath we took, no more Holocausts. You have to stop these maniacs from getting nuclear weapons. And then talked about robbery as one of the reasons for the skin disease. And, of course, robbery is one of the main items of the news now. Not only the Madoff $50 billion theft through the Ponzi scheme that wiped away many fortunes and took money from many people. It's had the effect of destroying many Jewish charities and destroying the wealth of many Jewish philanthropists, which is really hurting, compounding the problems in the economy, so that every Jewish institution I know is having trouble and coming back, and the opposite of what we need to do. And then the new Ponzi scheme uncovered in Minnesota, allegedly. And so, about pedders, if that turns out to be true. And so we've got people committing robbery, and then always reading about online theft, identity theft. Robbery is forbidden by God, and this is a good reminder about it. And then the final piece is here, avoiding charity. I keep going to meetings, as I mentioned just a second ago, where Jewish institutions are talking about having to lay off teachers, cutting back on programs, laying off staff, cutting back, which is a real crime in a time when, it's necessary so people don't go out of business altogether, but in a time when we desperately need to have fully functioning Jewish institutions to help. And so Jews have to think hard about avoiding what it means, the sin of avoiding charity or being stingy. but to continue to give, to support synagogues and Jewish institutions and the general community. If non-Jews are watching this video, to support your own charities, and as Jews do, supporting United Way and other things to help the world. And so this rabbi from 1730 gave these 7 reasons for the cause of leprosy in this week's Torah portion. And as I said in the other video, I'm not saying that you get leprosy exactly because of these things, but it's a good way to examine the society this week and think about how it destroys the fabric of what holds us together, which is in the human body, is the skin. So you can take it literally, you can take it metaphorically, but I think it's really a valuable insight going all the way back to 1730 of this terrific, great rabbi.